All right, hey everyone. I'm talking with Eric from Gatecreeper. Really thankful to talk with Eric. Would you mind just kind of giving yourself an introduction and kind of your role in the band?
Hey, I'm Eric Wagner. I play guitar in Gatecreeper. I've been in it since the beginning. Um, yeah, I've been a writing force on all of our records and been done all the tours and everything. So I'm in it. So this is my band, my baby, and I'm proud to represent it and stoked to be on the podcast.
Thank you. And just for you guys, pretty well established band, especially in Arizona. But just like a brief like history. How did you guys start out?
So our drummer Matt met Chase at a show, our singer, and I they kind of started thinking about starting a band, and they hadn't. I from what I understand, they hadn't met before, and I was living with Matt, our drummer at the time, and he was like, "Oh, this guy Chase wants to start a metal band," and Matt and I had been playing. We had all sorts of bands that never played shows. We were just kind of jamming a lot down in Tucson. We both lived in Tucson. Chase lived in Phoenix, and we were jamming, and then he was like, "This guy might want to start a band with us," and I actually drove up to Phoenix and met Chase at his house for the first time. I'd never met him before, and I brought my computer and I had some songs that I wrote, some like early stuff, whatever. Didn't end up using any of it, but I kind of jammed with Chase, met him. We got burritos and just hung out. I came back and him and Matt started working on the first EP, and then I kind of came in and started working on it too. So then we kind of just came together, and that was in 2013. It's almost 10 years ago. So that was a long time ago. Um, Chase would drive down to Tucson back then. We would practice and play, and then we recorded the first EP, and we did like a music video and everything, and we booked some shows, and then pretty quickly it started to do pretty well. So we got a band together. We got members, we're full members. We need a bass player, another guitar player, and then yeah, we hit the road, and we've been doing it for about 10 years now, and just slowly growing over time and putting our hearts into it and just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I've been a fan. Yeah, since I was here, the first EP.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you mentioned you were kind of in the Tucson area, but where'd you grow up?
yeah, I grew up in Tucson.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, I've been here my whole life. um I love it. I love Arizona. I wouldn't really want to live anywhere else. Maybe
Yeah.
northern, there's some trees, but for now I love southeastern Arizona a lot. It's definitely a place that I grew up in. I don't know, I enjoy it here. I don't see myself really needing to go anywhere else necessarily. um
Nice.
I'm here and I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I lived in Tucson. I went to U of A, and so I was there for a long time. Like, yeah, pretty much like did
Awesome.
my formative years there.
Okay, yeah, I did too. I have a degree from U of A.
Sick. Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
Yeah, once I kind of left, really haven't been back. I go every now and then to watch a U of A football game.
Okay, yeah.
Planning, yeah, I'm planning on going next month. U of A is going to play North Dakota State, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, that one been looking forward to for the past like couple years ever since they announced it.
For sure. Yeah, that's all coming back. I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
That'll
but
be awesome.
yeah, yeah, I do miss Tucson though. I mean, there's a lot of like just little things about Tucson, like places I used to go to eat when I was broke, and that
There you go.
yeah, or yeah, just like riding my bike around Tucson just because there's so many
Yeah,
like bike lanes.
yeah. It's a cool place. It's kind of think take some getting used to if you haven't been here for a while. It's just kind of crazy place, but there's some really good food. Mexican food, and we have all
Yeah,
sorts of stuff. I think it's a really cool place to live. So I feel pretty lucky to be from here.
yeah. When I was broke, or when I didn't have much money, I would go to Pollo Feliz and then get the burritos, the bean and cheese burrito, because it was only like
Yeah.
$1, and then I'd buy like five of them, and then that would be my dinner for the week.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, go and get a $3 veggie burrito or whatever.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then like I went to a couple shows in Tucson, like I'm talking like mid 2000s to late 2000s. There wasn't a big like, well, I mean, there was like local bands I would check out, but it kind of seemed like it was more like hardcore.
Yeah.
Like what would you say, or can you like kind of talk about the bands in that the Tucson
So
scene?
so there was kind of like the more like punk based scene. There was like the punk based scene. It was like hardcore, and then some metal, and a bunch of other stuff too. There was like ska bands and punk bands and all that. And then there was the actual metal scene, and I don't know, it didn't seem as like punk rock, and I was always more interested in the punk rock stuff. And so I feel like the hardcore scene was a extension of like a more underground metal scene down here, where like the hardcore kids also liked metal a lot. And then so yeah, it was kind of all just like punk based. And so we used to have a ton of venues. There's tons. So I feel like venues get shut down a lot here. We go through them pretty quick. So like there used to be Scrappy's, if you ever went to Scrappy's.
Yeah,
Um, Tons of shows there. I mean, I used to play in power violence bands back in the day. There's this band called Alarm with my friends.
yeah.
Uh,
Wasn't there like
that
a stabbing at that place at Scrap or somewhere downtown? I remember there was like a
There was
stabbing
shooting,
or
and
shooting or something.
someone
Yeah.
there was
Um,
a big altercation, and someone shot someone from out of town in self defense.
oh,
And
geez.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But
That's how you shut down a venue.
yeah, that did it. It's still nothing's in there. Still, that was probably more than 10 years ago. Nothing's in there. It's just still empty. It's just such a waste of space. We had a place called the Living Room right on Fourth. Um, it was a funny place because it was like a Christian owned place, and there was all these like Christian murals everywhere. But we were having our like death metal shows and stuff in there. That was really fun. It was right on Fourth Avenue, so you can go get pizza and stuff, and it's a cool place to hang out. Way
Yeah.
back in the day, there was a place called the Narwhal House, and it was right on Broadway, just south of the U of A on Highland. It's right across from Taco Shop, if you remember Taco Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you could get there from the U of A pretty easy. And it was just a house, and we had tons of shows there. It was mostly hardcore stuff, but that was so fun. But I've always felt like the hardcore scene and the metal scene and the punk scene, it's all kind of melded together in Tucson because I think it's a smaller scene, and so you're not necessarily going to have like just a metal scene. Like if you want people to go to your shows, like you need to know like everyone in town, and everyone has different tastes. So we would go to a show, and it would be a punk band, a ska band, a metal band, and a hardcore band, and that was just completely normal. And it was cool too. I thought it was pretty inclusive and fun, and I feel like that's a positive way to have things, even though it was just a product of how many people live in Tucson and how many people were actually into like heavy music at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I left Tucson probably like in 2013, but
Okay.
yeah, I think that's around the time Gatecreeper started to kind of like
Oh, yeah.
get a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
Um, but
I
yeah,
was going to the same time.
damn, yeah, my brother was going there, and he would like always like get like he got that he got this for me. I think there was like a house show, and he like grabbed it for me because they were like hard
That's
to
awesome.
find online. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but then he talked about the hardcore and like the punk scene in Tucson. But I was always interested in like your interest in country because
Yeah,
I know like when Gatekeeper plays live, there's country playing
yeah.
before or after the set, or a lot of this stuff on social media. I know you kind of like share a lot of like country music artists, but how kind of like how'd you get into country, and kind of like what's your favorite era of like country music?
Ooh, it depends. So just growing up in Arizona, and you can probably relate. I mean, it's just around,
Yeah,
like your uncle's listening to it, or your dad's listening to it, or you're driving to the dump, on Sunday, and you're listening to country. And I feel like when you're a kid, you're almost like you don't like it as much because it's kind of the background noise, or it's like what your parents listen to. So it's kind of like you want something different, you're gonna go listen to Slayer. even though I feel like in Arizona there's a lot of uncles and stuff that listen to Slayer. But as you get older, I don't know, like I kind of started realizing I really liked it, and being surrounded by it when you were when you were younger, kind of seeped in, I guess. And it just kind of, I had some good memories, of listening to country music. Um, I've just been over the last, I don't know, my young adult life up till now, it's like I've just been listening to it more and more, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I have, I do rangeland management for work. So I'm out like driving a truck around on the range doing ranching stuff and natural resource management and all sorts of crap like that. And so like, I'm listening to country all the time. And sometimes you're working in southeastern Arizona over near like Tombstone or Bisbee. There's a pretty good the Cave. It's like 97.9 Cave FM, and it's just
Oh yeah.
really good country. Like I think they maybe go to Central Arizona too, but they play real good country. So like, I just really like it. I feel like it's good working music. I feel like it's fun music. I think I really enjoy the stories and the lyrics, and I love the guitar playing. And just, I don't know, it's just really good songwriting. I really enjoy good songwriting, catchy songwriting, like songs that come together. And I just feel like country is like really, I don't know, I think people don't give it enough credit. I think it's a really cool genre.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What would you say your favorite era? There's like the 80s, the 90s, the like
Yeah,
2000s, and even like the current, but what would you say you enjoy the most?
I so I've gone through it all. I had a work truck that had Sirius XM for a while, and they had it was like Willie's Corner or something. It was like a Willie Nelson station, but he played super old stuff, like all the way back from like the 50s, like older stuff. Like of course like Hank Williams and all that the older stuff. I really like that. But for whatever reason, my favorite is, and I think it is the golden age of country, is like the early 90s, late
Oh yeah, hell
80s,
yeah, yeah.
Alan Jackson, Clint Black, all that stuff. Even like I like Travis Tritt a lot. I like that he has almost like a southern rock stuff mixed into it. There's all sorts of bands like that. And then even later, like Clay Walker, George Strait, of course. George Strait's been there like forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I love that. But then I really got into Chris LeDoux a long time ago, and I just, he is so awesome. He doesn't have the best voice, but his lyrics and just I don't know, it's such sincere country music, because he was just a rodeo. He was a bareback rider, and he won the national championship, won the NFR for bareback riding in the 70s. I mean, he was like a real guy, and he would sell his tapes in at the rodeos. And I always thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And he was just doing it to get by, so he could get to the next rodeo. And I always thought that was awesome. You have like Merle Haggard and stuff, and you have Waylon Jennings, and they sing about this stuff. But then you have Chris LeDoux, and it's like he's just singing about his life, which I think is awesome. I also really like Chris LeDoux because, like, I don't really drink very much. Like, I don't really party, and he just kind of sings about cowboy shit, and I love that. Like, I love Waylon Jennings, but like, I don't get drunk and cheat on my wife, and I just don't relate to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So,
yeah.
like, there's something about Chris LeDoux that I just love, and that led me to really enjoy some other people like Red Steagle. He's awesome. He's like almost like an old cowboy guy. Um, Dave Stamey, who I kind of found recently, but it's like true cowboy country, and they're like yodeling and stuff, and I think it's so cool, and it's just really good music, and the
Yeah.
stuff they think about is really awesome. So
Uh,
I like all of it. I'd say I love Brooks and like early Brooks and Dunn era the most,
yeah.
aside from Chris LeDoux, because that's just my favorite here. I got a giant Chris LeDoux flag next to my.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah. That's so badass.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so like especially like when I was going through grade school, like elementary, like every single teacher I had from kindergarten to eighth grade would listen to country, like
yeah,
especially when new albums would come out. I remember like the week the George Strait album, Carrying Your Love with Me came out.
yeah, yeah.
Like my elementary school teacher like got it and was just like playing it like every day, like nonstop for like a month.
So
Um, yeah, like stuff like that. And
it's music. It's just well written.
yeah, I mean, I listen to the radio. Like I'm not like a hardcore like the way I collect like records and stuff for metal,
Sure.
but it seems like there's kind of like bands now or artists now that are going back to like that 90s kind of like I had a thought today. It's sort of like with like the new like new generation of death metal going using old school like death metal as their influence.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know like John Party, the he's
Yeah,
on yeah
a
yeah that
bunch of
guy totally like he's like a blend of like Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, George Strait, all of that. He's just
yeah,
like a straight throwback. So
it's
like
actual instruments too. Like
yeah
there's guitar and stuff and slide and all that, and like his voice is like he's not like yeah. No, I agree. I like him a lot. He has some really good songs. Dirt on My Boots,
yeah. Oh, my
so good.
favorite's Heartache Medication, just because the
Yeah,
way the opening riff with the fiddle and the mid tempo drum,
this is
like
so.
I'm almost like headbanging to it. Like
Mhm.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean country music's it can be rowdy and it's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. It's good.
Yeah. Another one I like, Luke Combs. He's really good. I just dig his voice.
I do too. He's a great singer.
Yeah.
I mean, he has like a true like good raspy voice, and he's like a bigger guy. Like he's like that voice is unique, and I love that. And his songs sound, like once again, he has more like real instruments, and the stories are there too. He has funny stories. I love in country music when the last verse or chorus it like switches and everything comes together and it just is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It makes it funny, and I feel like Luke Combs and John Party, I feel like they both do that in some of their songs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
like a throwback to the old school, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Another good one I like, Midland. You like Midland?
The
Yeah.
one guy, I'm from Tucson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I,
That's
my boss knows him, I guess.
okay.
I don't know, but yeah, Midland's really great. I like Midland a lot. There's a bunch. I freaking there's a ton. It's hard to think off the top of your head.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned like Chris LeDoux and some of the other ones, but what would be like if you had like a top three or top five? Who would you put in that category for like country?
that's hard. I mean, of course, Chris LeDoux for me. Um, George Strait is incredible. Um, I don't know. It gets hard to choose. There's the obvious ones. I mean, I guess Alan Jackson. I love Alan Jackson. His whole career is just awesome. But it's nothing. That's pretty like that's pretty standard, I guess. Those guys are pretty standard, but they're great. And I think they have the most songs probably. So I'd have to like they have so many number one hits. It's insane. So I'd say George Strait, Alan Jackson, Chris LeDoux for me.
Awesome.
But then I love Travis Tritt. I mean, all those guys. There's a
Yeah.
bunch. There's tons. I think Clint Black's amazing. Brooks and Dunn, of course, is incredible.
Awesome.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Did the Gatecreeper ever talk about maybe doing like a cover song from like a country
I think
artist?
I think it's been brought up, but like I don't know if we would do it or not. But it'd be kind of funny. I
Yeah.
feel like just playing that stuff at our shows is kind of where we'll take it. I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
actually end up the cover or not. I think
Yeah.
it'd be a
Yeah.
Brooks and Dunn metal cover would be pretty funny.
Yeah. I came up with like five songs that I think would kind of go well with the with Gatecreeper covering. I tried to find like the songs that are like really dark or so kind of like not like the yeah like the heartache medication or
Sure.
the all my exes are in Texas. I try to think of like some like darker stuff like I'd say like I don't know, you mentioned Clint Black but Killing Time, like I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the guitar, even the guitar is pretty heavy in that song.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The lyrics though, just like a guy drinking himself to death is just kind of pretty dark.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
Um, and then uh, Digging Up Bones by Randy Travis, just the guy like, you know,
Going through
yeah,
his
going through memories and like, basically just giving himself like, yeah, anxiety, depression.
Yep, that's a good one.
Um, I think this was already done by the band All That Remains, but Thunder Rolls, Garth Brooks.
Oh, I forgot to say Garth Brooks. Love Garth Brooks.
Yeah, but that'd be a dark one too.
We listened to that song a lot on tour too.
Yeah, especially with the thunder like in the background. That's super metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think Rain and Blood's about to come on, but it's Thunder Rolls.
Oh yeah. Um, those were some of the ones I can think of. And then, well, one of my favorites is Gary Allen, but I always liked Smoke Rings in the Dark. There's a lot of really like witty like lyrics, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's some. Have you ever heard? It's very old, but the Louvine brothers.
Oh no, haven't.
They're like, it's the Louvine brothers, and they're it's almost bluegrass, but they had songs in the '60s and the '50s and stuff that were like about like murder, just about just murdering someone. Like those are pretty like they have this song called Knoxville Girl, and there's no moral to it. It's just about someone murdering their girlfriend.
Oh damn.
And it's really creepy because they're like harmonizing and it's super old sounding. They have a song called Satan is Real.
Yeah,
It's just pretty crazy.
that's so cool.
But the Louvine brothers are kind of wild.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, yeah, check.
Um, oh, and then one more. I always like this song. Just, I mean, I don't think it's really dark, but "Seminole Wind" by John
Yeah.
Anderson. I like the melody. Like, I think that'd be a cool like death doom
Well,
metal song.
it's almost like a environmentalist song too.
Yeah, yeah, for
But I
sure.
read that, and it's about Florida. So a good, we'll do obituary style
Oh
cover
hell
of.
yeah! Oh, that'd sick. Um, and then I don't know. I'm wearing this shirt. You made those the country shirts. Are you gonna do you plan on doing that again? Because I thought that was a really cool idea.
I really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of like ADD, and I'll have this like all of a sudden I'll have this idea. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I do like I'll spend like all day just working on it. So I made like tons. I have like 30 designs I made. Like I made that, and
Wow.
we ended up Brooks and Dunn one, a Travis Tritt one, and there was another one we did. And Chase actually helped me. Our singer helped me with it, and he found like a printer and stuff, and we worked on it together. And he helped me like because he had already been selling those sweatpants. You ever saw his sweatpants that he was making, like a suffocation logo sweatpants, whatever. They were really cool. So he knew how to do it. And so he helped me, and we made those designs, and we did like a pre-order, and we sold a bunch of them. And word has it that the third one we had was the George Strait one, and George Strait has one of those himself. He someone gave one to him, I guess.
Oh
Someone
damn.
that works for him, like a publicist or something, somehow got it and gave it to him. So he owns the George Strait one, which is really cool.
Oh,
So
that's so cool. Yeah.
I would love to do more. Um, I uh, I made those hats. If you've seen the Beatles suck hats that I
Yeah.
made,
Yeah.
I made.
I agree. They do suck.
It's just kind of funny. I don't know. I feel like in Arizona, everyone's like the Beatles suck, even though Paul McCartney lives here, but that's fine. Um, but I would love to make more, and I have ideas all the time. I'm actually making a Chris Gaines,
Yeah.
the
The
I'm
country.
making
Garth Brooks' alter ego.
so I can show you. I have let me grab it real quick. I'll show you. I actually have I'm actually here. I have it. I'm leaning my arm on it, but I have these will be available soon. And there's two different kinds. This is just one of them. I'm making Chris Gaines shirts. Here. It says
Whoa.
it says Gone but not forgotten, Chris Gaines.
Fuck yeah. Damn, that's so badass.
So kind of just funny. I just have ideas and then I roll with them. So
Yeah.
yes, I would love to do more country metal shirts. I think it's awesome, and I would be it'd be a fun time to do more of them.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. I definitely would pick some up.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm gonna kind of switch to like some actually I thought of a question while I was like driving today. If what would be like the Gatecreeper like equivalent to like a country band? Like
ooh,
I mean, for example, like I don't know. I was thinking like Midland is it reminds me of Gojira kind of just because the guys in the band look the same and they seem to be like well traveled, well spoken men. So I was thinking, oh, they remind me of like Gojira. What would be the Gatekeeper equivalent?
I don't know. I have to think about it. It just depends. Maybe maybe the Oak Ridge Boys because they're all kind of ugly. Maybe them, the guy with the big beard. Um, it would have to be something with like, oh, you know what, Alabama,
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Alabama of death metal.
Yeah.
Kind of different and funny looking in the band. Everyone has their own thing going.
Yeah. Everyone looks
Yeah,
like Big Foley. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Music, yeah, it literally does. Yeah, and the drummer wears like a sequin Adidas tracksuit, and I've pretty fun stuff before. So I think we're the Alabama of death metal for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I like where I went to elementary school, like my music teacher was like, I think he was from like Georgia or something like that, but he would make us sing like Alabama songs like as like a choir. It was cool.
That's all.
Yeah.
They're a
um,
crazy band, man.
yeah. I have some Alabama vinyl. Like I went to like I always every time I go to like Zia Records or somewhere, like if I find like an Alabama record for like $2, I always grab it.
So sick.
Yeah. I'll just ask a couple things about Gatecreeper. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys been like on tour like nonstop the past like year. You guys like toured with shit like Obituary and like Knocked Loose. You guys did some headliner runs.
Yep.
You guys
And
played
we
with
did.
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
done. Yeah, we played in Mexico City with Cannibal Corpse. We did European tour.
yeah.
We just played
Um,
South Fury. We have a lot.
yeah. Was there any of those shows or tours that really stuck out?
Well, the Knocked Loose tour was crazy just because it was the first one back from COVID, and like so it was like crazy to be stepping back out into the world after being home for 2 years. I really, really enjoyed the Decibel Magazine tour with Obituary and Municipal Waste and Forest and Spirit World. I thought that was a really cool um, lineup. Plus, I love the guys in Municipal Waste. Like we toured with Iron Reagan at Skeleton Witch back in the day.
Mhm.
It was one of our first package tours, and Tony and Landfill from Waste are in that. Were in that band. I guess they're still around, and we just became really good friends. They're awesome, and we've played with Municipal Waste and hung out with them before. And so, like anytime getting to spend time with them is a real pleasure. Like their drummer Dave Whitty's awesome, guitar player Nick and Ryan are both awesome, and Tony's a great guy, and Phil is badass. So we really enjoy hanging out with Municipal Waste a lot. Getting to play with Obituary every night was insane to me because I mean they're like a pillar in the metal world, and it's just cool to see how they do things. I also really relate to them because they like country music and they're just like kind of redneck guys from Florida, and I kind of feel like that from being from Arizona. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you know, maybe not politically, but like in like you're just kind of like a guy from the middle of nowhere or whatever. You're from Arizona, and I feel like there's a lot of similarities to Florida, so I just got along with them. Like the simplicity, they had such simple guitar setups, and they just did everything themselves, and there was a an attitude that I could relate to there, and I really liked that. So getting to tour with Obituary is awesome. Also,
Awesome.
Spirit and Enforced were really cool too. So I would love the guys in Enforced, and I actually knew the Stu from Spirit World from back in the day. He was in a hardcore band called Folsom from Las Vegas, and they would come play Tucson all the time. And so I kind of knew them, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I missed the that Obituary Decibel tour. Just I don't know if there were any like dates around the Southwest, but
There was a thanks. We played at the Nile, I believe.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I think it was just too far of a drive for me. I'm like 6 hours away from
Yeah, no,
Phoenix. Yeah,
that's correct. You don't need to be doing it.
yeah.
I don't do it either.
Um, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out the Albuquerque show. You guys are gonna tour with Hatebreed coming up.
And Obituary's on that show.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna go.
That's the only show that Obituary's on. So that's going to be awesome. Very excited.
Yeah, and then do you guys are you guys do another Europe tour after that, or is that
Yeah.
next year?
So from here on, we have this weekend we're playing in Las Vegas. We're playing at Psycho Las Vegas with At the Gates, which is gonna be really cool. And then we go to Brazil and we play September Negro Fest in Brazil on September like 3rd. And then we're playing Uruguay. So that'll be our first time in South America. And then we're going to do direct support to Hatebreed through the States. And we're actually going to be announcing some of our own headlining shows out to that. And then we link up. The Hatebreed tour directly links up with the Lamb of God and Creator tour in Europe. So we will be, I think that whole tour with those two things mixed is 2.5 months of
Wow,
shows. So that's going to be a long time. But yeah, Hatebreed right in the Lamb of God and Creator. So that's going to be really awesome.
that's so sick. I'm just curious. Would you guys ever play like in northern Arizona around like the Four Corners area?
Yeah, we have we're booking a Flagstaff show as we speak.
Oh,
So
sick. Yeah.
far up, but probably a little more easier for people from the res and shit to get down to.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like there's shows around here on the res, but I don't know. Like I'm not into the booking part of the scene, but yeah, I would definitely like to see like Gatecreeper like play a show around here.
I've brought it up ever since we started. I think it would be awesome to just even do like a even tour as much as we could of the West and wherever else, or just start adding res shows into our tours.
Yeah,
I think that's really awesome, and I think that's something that more bands should do
yeah. I
because
think I think Gallup is pretty like a I don't know. I think Gallup is like a hidden gem like for like shows because I've seen pretty like like bands like Soulfly there, and dude, that place sells out like quick,
oh,
like
well,
tons of fans.
people are bringing their grandmas and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I played on I forgot where we played, but many years ago, and it was a res north of Phoenix, and it was such a good show. It was so fun. It's like a big party.
Yeah,
So I'd love to play in Gallup. I think that would be great.
yeah,
I would love to do that. We've talked about it, and we talk about it more and more. The bigger you get, the harder it is to like even have control over where you play. But if I do at all, and I would love to play there. I think that would be awesome.
yeah. Oh hell yeah. I mean, yeah, like Flagstaff as well. I mean, like they're I mean, just because like like for me, it's like a 6 hour drive to Phoenix, but it's like a 3 hour drive to Albuquerque, which isn't too bad. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I definitely like going to shows now. Like I go to maybe like one a month. I saw Rob Zombie last night. That was like my one show this month.
Oh, cool. Where was that?
It was in Albuquerque. It was like the Isleta Amphitheater.
Pretty good
Yeah,
drive.
yeah, it's only like it's like 2.5. Like if I don't stop, but I always have to stop for like gas or whatever. But yeah, it was a huge turnout. Like I don't know what the capacity is there, but I would say there's like at least 10,000 people there.
It's crazy. People love metal here, and especially up in New Mexico too. I mean, it's everywhere. That's
Hell yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's it. I think those are all my questions, Eric. I don't know. I don't want to keep you too long, but
Yeah,
yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
of course, man. Anytime. We should do it again sometime.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. All right, I'm gonna hit the stop.